Hello everyone, welcome back to another monthly 24-hour readathon. You guys know that I do these monthly and here I am doing another one. I'm so excited. Today I'm going to be reading for 24 hours. It is currently 3:30 on Monday. I'm probably going to be starting at 4 and then reading till 4 tomorrow on Tuesday. And I'm just really excited. I have read so much this month and I feel like now is kind of like an opportunity for me to do the last stretch of reading, finish my February TBR even though I didn't really create one, but I do still have books that I need to finish this month, so we are going to do that now. In terms of my TBR for this readathon, I have a couple of books, but I really just want to mood read. Like, I have been feeling a bit slumpy recently, and not so much with reading. Like, I've been good with my reading, I've been slumpy with my content, and I feel like a part of that is I'm constantly trying to read a lot of things for videos, and now it's like I'm just gonna read what I feel like reading. I've already picked a book that I'm going to start the readathon with, and that's because I'm really in the mood right now for only really thrillers and romances. So the book that I want to start with is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. I have no idea what this is about, but I know it's a thriller and I know that I want to read it because I recently read Then She Was Gone, I believe, by Lisa Jewell. I read that for reading my physical TBR video series. So I'm really excited to move on to this one. Lisa Jewell is such a great writer, so fast paced, so many twists and turns, and so I'm really excited to pick this one up. I think this will be a really good way to start the readathon. And then I'm also in the middle of 3 books that I think will be really useful to read in the TBR as well. First of all, my main priority is reading Babel by R.F. Kuang. This is my February book club book for my Patreon, and I'm on page 269, so I'm about halfway through. I really just want to make some more progress on this, read more of it and all that sort of stuff. You guys know that this is historical fantasy. I feel like the beginning of the novel was definitely like a very difficult read. There was a lot of academia when it comes to things like linguistics and languages and translation, which is not really my forte. Like, I never really studied anything like that, so it's definitely, yeah, it was very heavy on the academics, but now I feel like we're getting really heavy into the characters and their relationships with people. There was definitely a lot of that in the beginning. Like, this is a very chunky book, it's very hectic, there's a lot going on, and I am really enjoying it. I do think R.F. Kuang is one of the most intelligent and talented writers that is working right now, so it's definitely an amazing book. Just, yeah, it takes a lot for me to get through, but I'm definitely going to be reading more of this. I'm also in the middle of this book called Luster by Raven Leilani. I actually tried to do a 24-hour readathon a little while ago, and I started with this book and I was just like, I'm not in the right mindset right now. So I'm on page 171 of Luster, and it's a 220 page book, so I've got like 50 pages left, so I know I can definitely finish it in this one, but it's really quite bizarre, and I usually like that. It's a contemporary literary fiction about this black woman in New York, and she gets involved with this married man who is white, and he's in an open marriage, and somehow she kind of becomes adopted into their marriage with him and his white wife and their adopted black child. So I feel like there's a lot of discussions to be had about this, but I also do feel the book is rather ambiguous. Like, we are in our character's head, but we never really know her true feelings. It seems really cold and distant from the reader. I feel like I just need to finish the novel so I can actually think about how I feel about it, because while I'm reading it, I genuinely have no idea how I feel about it. Yeah, anyway, I wasn't in the right mindset to read it when I first started it, but I think I can definitely finish it during this readathon, just once I've like read some other things first. And then the final book that I'm in the middle of is the complete opposite to those two, and it's on my Kindle, and it's this random romance that I found for free, bought it, and then I was like, you know what, I feel like reading something stupid, started reading it, and now I'm like kind of obsessed. It's this book called The Billionaire's Wake Up Call Girl, and basically this is like a workplace enemies to lovers romance, also hidden identity, and not in a way that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, there's no deceit going on really, it's more just like, oh no, this is really awkward for us both. But yeah, basically we follow our main character who ends up getting looped into being the wake-up call for her boss, and there's an accident where she doesn't realize that she's called him, but she has called him and was like fully insulting him the entire time, and he was like, hello, and she was like, oh, and then just had to run with that. And then our billionaire, who is the boss of her, is like, who is this mystery woman who I'm obsessed with? It's just really fun. Like the banter, yes, a little bit cheesy, but I really do like the characters and I really like how the relationship has developed. So this was a really pleasant surprise. I was not expecting to like this as much as I do. I'm enjoying it, so I probably will finish that on my Kindle as well at some stage. And then the only other book that I haven't started, but it would be a reread for me, the only other book that I need to read is The Score by Al Kennedy, and this is another Patreon book club book because we're doing a series read along of the Off-Campus series. This is book number 3 and my favorite of the bunch. So I feel like this is just a really good time to reread it when I'm feeling kind of low right now and a bit slumpy and just not super proud of the content that I'm putting out. Reading something that I know that I really love and can be really enthusiastic about, I think now is the right time. So yeah, this is just a sports romance, like campus setting. Our main character Dean is a massive fuckboy, and our main character Ellie, she's a girl boss. She's like an actress. She's recently gone through a breakup and needs a rebound. So like it's kind of like Friends with Benefits vibes, but they end up falling in love and it's really cute. So yeah, so these are the books that I really want to finish or get to during the 24 hours, and then I will just mood read apart from that. Like I don't know if I'm gonna finish Babel in this 24-hour period. I definitely want to. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to accomplish that because it is so long, but I definitely think I'll be finishing these, and then if there's anything else that I want, then I will just go to my bookshelf and just see what I feel like. So that's the plan right now. It's now 3:40, so I'm gonna make a coffee because I haven't made a coffee today. I haven't had a coffee all day because I've been like saving it for tonight, because I'm probably gonna stay up quite late tonight and then just read into the morning. So I'm very excited. I feel like I haven't done a readathon in ages. So yeah, I'm gonna make a coffee. I'm gonna get all settled. I'm gonna get sorted. I might do some reading sprints with my patrons later, and I'm going to dive straight into the family upstairs. So I will let you guys know how it all goes. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy this 24-hour reading vlog. It's been like an hour and I'm on page 103 of The Family Upstairs. A common denominator with the 2 Lisa Jewell books that I've read, so this one, which I'm currently reading, and the previous one, is that at the beginning I'm very confused. Like I'm like, what's going on? Ben's just arrived. Welcome home. Yeah, I'm just very confused at the beginning. Like we're getting all these characters that are being introduced and I just don't really know where the story's going. But basically the whole thing is we're following 3 different characters and 3 kind of different storylines at the same time. So our main character, like the first one we meet, is Libby, and she's recently inherited this massive home in Chelsea, which is like a really, you know, wealthy neighborhood. She like never knew her birth parents because there was this thing that happened in the past where apparently, like with that house, there were 3 adults, so her parents and someone else, their dead bodies were found in this house with this like baby upstairs, and she's supposed to be the baby, and now that she's like 25, she's inherited this home. So she's kind of like going through the motions of that, like kind of living her life. We also follow another character called Lucy who has a couple of kids and she's homeless right now in France. I don't really know where she fits into the whole story, but she recently got a text saying the baby is now 25. So obviously she's linked to Libby in a sense. And then we're also following this guy called Henry, who apparently is the father of Libby and one of the dead bodies in this Chelsea home. And so this is from like the 1980s and Henry's a teenager living in this Chelsea home. So see, there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. I don't know how everything is going to link. I have a couple of theories, but at the same time, I don't know these characters and their backstories well enough to trust my own theories. Like, I really am kind of like reaching in the dark right now. And this is at page 103. And I think because we've got these 3 different perspectives, the chapters are really short, so we're spending like 5 pages a piece with each character and with each storyline. It's kind of hard to connect. I will say that I'm enjoying the 1980s like Henry storyline the least. I'm not really that excited to read his chapters. I think I'm enjoying Libby's chapters the most, that just because she's the first person we saw on like chapter 1, and then Lucy's kind of in the middle, but I'm interested to see like where she goes and what happens with her. Lucy also was like in an abusive relationship, I think. There's just so many different factors right now. It's a very fast read for, you know, I read 100 pages in an hour, so it's definitely like a good easy start, and I felt the same way with the previous Lisa Jill book that I read, and I ended up giving that 4 out of 5 stars. So I really can't say whether I'm enjoying this or not yet, because I'm sure that even if I'm not, it will turn around. I have faith, I have optimism, I feel good. I really want to have a glass of wine, but I'm worried that will make me a bit sleepy, but I think I might just have one anyway. Maybe with dinner, I don't know, because I finished my coffee a little while ago. Okay, well, we're 1 hour down. I might go pour myself a glass and continue to read this. I think I made the right call in starting with this one. Ben used the only wine glass, so now I can't even look classy and adult. Okay, I've gotten to part 2 of the book, which is page 235. It's also 7:15, so obviously I've had a break to like eat dinner and stuff like that, which is why it took me like a slower amount of time to read the next like 100 and so pages. But the fact that I'm wearing lipstick at nighttime is really pissing me off. Like, I don't like the feel of lipstick. I like how I look, but I don't like how it feels. So I'm gonna take it off and then tell you how I feel about this book. Okay, hello, I'm back. So I'm up to part 2 of The Family Upstairs. I've read up to page 235. So everything's kind of coming together now. Like, I still don't really know a few things. Like, it's still not super clear, but I definitely got it wrong in the first part where I said that Henry was the father of Libby. Turns out Henry's dad and Henry had the same name. So Henry is actually Libby's brother. So the siblings of the child that was left abandoned and alive in this house, they're missing. And it's believed that Henry's one of them, and I have a feeling that Lucy, you know, it's kind of obvious, but at the same time, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Henry's definitely a sibling, but like, we don't know where he's at right now because all of his chapters are from the 80s and the 90s. There are some other characters from his chapters which I think are going to be coming back. I don't really know. Like, I'm definitely enjoying it now. It's definitely very fast paced, and there are chapters, it's weird, there are chapters where I'm like, oh my god, this is so fucking good, and then there'll be chapters where I'm like, okay, that was disappointing. And it's really weird because the chapters are so short, so it's like my enjoyment of this novel is so like unpredictable. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. It's a roller coaster. I will say Lisa Jill knows how to write a plot, you know, she knows how to write a plot, so it'll be interesting to see how it all comes together, and I think my feelings will be very clear towards the end of it. Just right now, I'm just enjoying the ride, and there's really not much else I can say about it. I think Lisa Jill is definitely more of a plot heavy writer than a character one. Like, I don't really feel like these characters are particularly unique. They don't feel super fleshed out to me. They don't feel like real people. And there are books where I'm reading about these characters and they do feel so real. I know exactly what they look like. I know their mannerisms. Yeah, this book is definitely not for people who read for characters and character studies. It's definitely for people who just love a good plot, and at the end of the day, that is me sometimes. I like characters, I care about them, but right now, I just want some plot twists. I really want some plot twists, and I feel like this one is gonna have some good ones. It's yet to be seen. But I honestly feel like I'm gonna finish this pretty quickly tonight. Like, I'm halfway through, so I don't really know what I'm gonna read next. I'm gonna do some reading sprints soon with my patrons, just set up a live show and just read, and then people can come in and out if they feel like it. But I don't know what I'm going to read afterwards, because I don't know if I want to continue my Kindle book. I don't know if I want to continue Babel just yet. I'd rather set up Babel late at night with like some candles and like that sort of vibe, like very atmospheric. But if I'm just going to be reading this and doing reading sprints, I think after this it'll be a mood decision. Like, what am I in the mood for? Because I've already decided that I'm going to read The Score tomorrow. I think Babel tonight, this tonight. Oh, I don't know. I'm just brain dumping now. Anyways, I'm halfway through this. I'm gonna keep reading, obviously, and I will update you very soon. Okay, so I have read more of The Family Upstairs. I'm now on page 262. But I'm also a control freak, so, well, not a control freak, I would say the opposite of a control freak. I'm also a planner. So I've already kind of started thinking about what I want to read next because I couldn't get it out of my head and I want to sort that first. So I have these two books that I've been eyeing up, which is The Roommate by Rosie Danan and Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Frederick Buckman. I feel like this one I will definitely get to. Like, it's 75 pages, it's a novella. So this is definitely up there. This is kind of up there as well. But because I love like being spontaneous and I love like the randomness of everything, I've asked Ben to go into the other room and go to my TBR bookshelf and pick 3 books for me to potentially choose from, which I just find fun. Like, yes, I'm a mood reader, but also at the same time, like, I love things being randomly selected and I like things being like, I don't know, I like the game of it all. Yeah, he's choosing those 3 for me now and I have no idea what he's gonna pick. Okay, he's coming out now.
Where do you want me to put them?
Just put them here.
Okay, I'll put them so you can't see.
Okay. Okay, so first of all we have, oh, I've been wanting to read this. Why did you pick this one? Because we're soulmates.
Oh yeah, I like the title.
Yes, so this is The Soulmate Equation. It's a romance with a little bit of sci-fi elements to it. I don't know, they just live in this world where there's like this new dating app or something, and it's where people take your DNA and find your like soulmate based on your DNA, and then a romance sparks from there. It's very, very similar to another book I've read called The One by John Mars, but that was more like a thriller vibe, like a thriller sci-fi, whereas this is like romance sci-fi. So this is definitely a good one. Thank you, Ben, thank you. We also have, what else has he picked? Interesting! We have Full Tilt by Emma Scott. This is the first book in a duology, a romance duology, and I believe it's about like a rock star or something. I don't know. I feel like our main character has massive issues with like alcoholism or drug use, or I have no idea. But it's like an epic love story, very toxic, but this is gonna be really interesting. I have been wanting to read this for ages. So what made you choose this one, Ben?
What does it say on the front again?
You are a universe.
Oh yeah, that's like a cool tagline, I guess.
Okay, nice. And the final one, which we'll get no commentary on, is, oh maybe we will, he's coming back. The final one. King of Wrath.
I just like the cover of that one.
Yeah, because this was sitting on the table earlier for something else and you pointed it out.
That's
you
why
were
I
like,
had to ask, because I wasn't sure, because it felt familiar, but I wasn't sure if you'd read it or not.
No, I haven't read it. So this is the new Ana Huang book, the first in her new series called Kings of Sin. It's like a billionaire romance, and I know that it's also Marriage of Convenience. So Ben has picked 3 romances for me. How did he know that I was in a romantic thriller like mood? These are very strong potentials. I'm definitely leaning more towards The Soulmate Equation out of the 3, but now I just have some fun ones to choose from. Thank you so much, Ben. Okay, very exciting. So looking at the TBR now, with also these other potentials that I had, oh god, let's choose from, and I'm feeling very confident now. This is going very good. I'm gonna get back to reading this. Ben's jumped in the bath now, so I might actually use this opportunity to like read in bed for a little bit, because I know that I still need to do my sprints. So I'm not gonna like go to sleep or anything, but it's just cozy in my room, you know? It's cozy in my room. I like the lighting when I have to do clips, so I'm gonna do that for a bit and then move into my streaming room to set up my PC and do sprints. So I'm gonna do that. I'll let you know how this goes. I think I'm close to part 3 as well. I don't know, we'll find out. We've just had a big reveal as well, so things are looking good. It's 8:30 and I've just gotten to part 3. I'm feeling so confident. I'm definitely gonna finish this very soon and I cannot wait to move on to something else. I have like just over 100 pages left. Is this like one of the most successful 24-hour readathons I've done in a while? Potentially. I feel like this is the fastest I've like gone through a book in one of these 24-hour readathons. I'm just feeling like no distractions. Like, I just feel great. I just feel great. I'm gonna finish this. I've read like 10 pages since I got to part 3 and the most disgusting thing has just happened. This book is so dark. Well, it's not that dark. I've read darker things, but like Lita Jewell, I feel like she writes these really easy to read like mystery thrillers, and then all of a sudden something will happen and I'll be like, disgusting. I'm really gonna need to read a romance after this because I've got the heebie-jeebies. Okay, so I finished The Family Upstairs. And you know what? I did enjoy my time reading it. I really enjoyed my time reading it. The ending slightly disappointed me. Like the twists and turns, great. Loved all the twists and turns. But there's a really like cult-like theme to this. And I love books about cults. I love media about cults. I find fictional stories about cults so fascinating. And I loved that aspect of it. The epilogue or final chapter was a little bit like, oh, like I'm happy with it, but I did feel slightly underwhelmed because the final chapter or epilogue in the previous Lisa Jewell book that I read reduced me to tears, and I was kind of expecting the same thing, but I didn't, even though this book was very sad and very heartbreaking. Like there's a lot that goes on that is just very dark and very tragic, but I did really enjoy it. I also found out that there's a sequel called The Family Remains. Sounds a bit gross, to be honest. I'm like, is this supposed to sound like the remains of a dead body, or is it like the family remains as in like they're still there? I don't know if it was intentional. Either way, that's where my brain went. I don't know if I'll read the sequel. Like, I liked this book enough. I don't know if I'm going to read the sequel because I'm really happy with like it being kind of open up to interpretation to me with the ending of this. Look, if I'm saying that I don't know if I'm going to read the sequel, I am 99% not going to, because I have so much else I want to read. But yeah, so I finished this, and even with the selections that Ben gave me, I still don't know what I'm going to move on to. I'm just trying to be realistic about how much time I have, considering that I really want to finish Babel. Like, that's a massive priority for me. Regardless, I think I'm going to take a few options and set up some reading sprints and read in my stream room. So I'll let you know what I plan on doing. It is 9:15, so I'm feeling good considering I started at 4. I'll let you know what I read next. We're doing sprints. There's me. There's everyone. And I'm reading on my Kindle. I really hope that wasn't a sex scene that I just showed you. I just finished with reading sprints, and during that time I actually finished the book on my Kindle, which was The Billionaire's Wake Up Call Girl, the funny little romance that I read on a whim and ended up really enjoying. And I did really enjoy it. I think the second half was really great because I think our characters kind of got together quite early on. In terms of like the usual romance books that I read, they got together quite early on, and we got to see a lot of really nice like slice of life moments like from them, which was just really sweet. I don't know, it was really nice. Funnily enough, got a lot of like negative reviews on Goodreads. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And if you're looking for something really low stakes and really just a bit silly and a bit fun and not really trying to be anything else other than what it is, like this book had a goal, set out to do it, it achieved that goal for me. It was just a really fun time. So if you're looking for like a fun enemies to lovers workplace billionaire hidden identity romance, this is not a bad choice. And I also know that this is in a series of standalone billionaire romances. I looked at the series, there are some questionable titles in there, I mean including this one, like Billionaire's Wake Up Call Girl. Why is it so long? But you know, if any of them are free on the Amazon store, then I probably will get them because it was just fun. It was a good time. And then during the sprints, I also started reading Full Tilt by Emma Scott. So I'm now on page 41 of this novel. And like I said, this is a romance duology. We follow our main characters, Casey and Jonah. Casey is the guitarist in an all-girl like rock band. Love those vibes already. I don't usually like books about musicians, but honestly love that, like all-girl rock band. Amazing. She's got a bit of like a dark history, I think. Like she has some trauma, and she works through that trauma with alcohol and partying, which is obviously not the healthiest. And Jonah, I think he has some sort of heart condition. He's got some medical issues, but he's currently working as a limo driver at nighttime in Las Vegas. And Casey just did like a massive show. Casey ends up getting way too drunk and Jonah has to drive her home, but then it's this really awkward situation. Everything's out of control and she's just very drunk, like vomiting in the back of his limo. So he takes her back to his apartment and like looks after her, which should be kind of sketchy, but he's just like a very good guy, and she's like not uncomfortable by the situation because she's always waking up in places that she doesn't know where she is. And so she's waking up in this apartment of this guy who's like just seems really nice and like a good person, and that's all I've gotten up to so far. I don't really know what's going to happen. I assume a romance is going to blossom from here. I imagine it will be a pretty tumultuous relationship, but I'm excited to figure out more. Now I'm going to go sit in the living room and read more of this. I'm basically just going to read as much of this as I feel like, and then I'm going to light some candles and set up an atmosphere and read Babel, which I'm also really excited for. So we're just going to see how much I can read. But so far we're 2 books down. I'm on to my 3rd. I'm surprised that this is the one I went for as well. Like, I have the soulmate equation with me right here, and this Bridget Bruckman one, which I think I'm gonna read this tomorrow morning, like with my morning coffee. But yeah, for some reason I was drawn to this, and I'm going to continue this. Hello. Okay, so it is, oh god, what's the time? It's 1 AM and I'm up to page 108 of Full Tilt. And I'm really enjoying it. I did not think that I would enjoy it this much. I have a feeling it's going to be very heartbreaking. And reading the back, I mean, I was describing this novel as like potentially really toxic. It's so tender. Like, it's so tender and sweet, and the characters, like, I can truly see them falling in love. Like, it's not like a just attraction based or like sexual chemistry based. Like, I can see them falling in love with each other, and they are so sweet with each other. And I feel like Jonah just brings out this really gentle side of Casey, and like, this is my shit. This is my shit. Is it the most well written thing in the world? No, it's not, but I'm really enjoying it. And I just know it's gonna break my heart at some stage. Can't get over how much I'm enjoying this. However, I am gonna take a break for now because I'm getting rather tired, and I think I'm going to make a coffee and then start on Babel. Well, not start on it, but continue reading some of Babel, which you are on top of right now. In fact, let me adjust this. The lighting's not great, but yes, I'm gonna read more of Babel. So I'm going to make a coffee and just probably read this until I fall asleep. So this might be my last update for the evening. I guess I will just see you in the morning for another full day of reading. I'm going to be waking up quite early. Okay, it's the next morning. It's around 9 o'clock. I am all ready for the day because I have meetings, which I forgot about. So I'm going to add the time that it took to do my meetings onto the end of the 24-hour readathon. I can't imagine it being more than 2 hours, but I'm also running late, so I need to go to the meetings. But I'm taking Babel with me to read in between, and I'll be right back. I'm home from my meetings. Yes, Ben does have a job. I know that in my videos you're always playing video games. Anyways, I just got home from my meetings. It actually took a bit longer than I expected, so it's now like midday. I'm just going to read into the night. You know, I've got a few things to do this evening, but I'm just gonna read until I fall asleep tonight to make up for the hours that I lost. Is that cheating? Perhaps it is, but at the same time, is it that deep? No, it's not. I got up to page 372 of Babel. Really loving it now. Like, I'm genuinely really enjoying it. The plot twists and turns are amazing, and I'm really liking where the story is heading. I'm sure I say some really profound things in my Babel reading vlog for Patreon, but I just don't really feel like repeating myself here. Anyways, I'm really enjoying it. But now at 12:16, I'm going to be finishing Full Tilt. I actually read a little bit on my Kindle last night because I woke up early in the morning and knew that I still needed to sleep but couldn't, and I just found it on Kindle Unlimited. So I read a little bit on my Kindle when the lights were still out and I didn't want to leave bed. I don't know where I read up to. I'm gonna find out, and I'm gonna finish this in one sitting and let you know how it goes. Hopefully in the light of day it still is as fun and amazing as I thought it was last night. I guess we're gonna find out. I'm gonna get started. I'm up to part 2. I'm just gonna have a little snack and then continue reading. Okay, so I finished Full Tilt. Had a little cry. Ben was quite worried about me. It's okay, I finished it. I really wasn't expecting, I mean, I knew it was gonna be sad, but I wasn't expecting it to end how it did. And it kind of means that I don't really want to read the second book, because I know it's a duology. I own the second book. I don't really want to read the second one because I know that it's going to be something that I'm not like super keen on. I don't want to spoil this for anyone, but yeah, it was definitely good. Like, I definitely really loved it. It definitely was tender. It was heartbreaking. It was a love story. It was a very tragic love story. I did really enjoy my time reading it. I think I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 stars, but jury's still out on whether or not I'm gonna read the second one. I don't know. Anyway, it's now like 4 o'clock. I think I'm just gonna read more of Babel until like the readathon's finished. I honestly could just end the readathon here, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe I won't end the vlog here. No, I will. I don't know. No, I will. I'll end it here. I'll end it here. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It's been 24 hours now anyway, so I guess this isn't really cheating, and I'm actually really proud of what I accomplished in the 24 hours because I read 4 books. I didn't complete one of them, but I read 4 books and I'm proud of that. So let's do a quick wrap up. First, I read The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this thriller. It was very, very fun. And then I finished the book on my Kindle and I gave that 3 stars. I think I ended up giving it 3 stars. But I can't wait to read more of this series, and if it's still free on Amazon, you guys should go check it out because it was honestly a very surprising little romance. Then obviously I read a bit of Babel. I think I read like over 100 pages, which I'm proud of, and I'm going to continue this tonight and finish it because I think I have about 150 pages left, so feeling good about that. And then I also read Full Tilt, which I am giving 4 stars. Those are the books that I read in this readathon. I really hope you enjoyed. Obviously I will be doing another one of these videos next month, so you have that to look forward to. But yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. A reminder that all my socials are linked down below, including my Patreon, so if you do want extra content from me, and if you do indeed want to see the Babel reading vlog, which should be out before this one, it should be out already, but yeah, please go check that out. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you very soon in another video.